Okay, so last night, many of us watched a Jets YouTube channel invite a person who had professional experience breaking down film, right? And for those of you who missed it, here's his credentials. He had an internship with the University of Buffalo. He worked directly with the quarterback's coach for 18 months, breaking down film for thousands of prospects. And if you watch the show, you know he came away, or you came away with his opinion of Zach Wilson and the Jets, and basically his opinion was very similar to many people who agree with uh, my last two videos, which is it was no one's open and it's bad play calling. I can't even say we added that part of it. It's something that was in the back of my mind because after all, the person calling the plays is Nathaniel Hackett. Um Architect behind one of the worst defenses in recent no sorry, worst offenses in recent history with the Broncos. Right? So he pretty much agreed with us, someone with a lot of professional experience breaking down tape. So today we're gonna go over because I know people don't want my videos to be too. Some people don't want my videos to be too long. We're gonna go over all 22 tape, but just the incompletions, the sacks, and the fumbles. Okay. There were no interceptions. So let's go over some tape, and we're gonna try to judge, was it Zach Wilson's fault with our own eyes. All right, let's go. Let's make sure we can pause. Okay. Matter of fact, let's go back a little bit. All right. Obviously, that's a inaccurate pass. We can see that. Let's jump to 435. Okay, so that one I put Gibson was open for maybe 5 yards. Where's Gibson? Okay. So if you can see my mouse, oh, here it is. Gibson was open for maybe 5 yards. He kind of threw a hospital ball to Lazard. Um, let's see, was there pressure? A little bit. It could have been better. I mean, maybe he would have got 5 yards out of that. Okay. All right. Let's go to 717. Now I'm trying to keep this concise, guys. I already reviewed the tape. This is for your viewing and for us to review together. Okay. All right. So this one, I said it was a late pass. All right. This one's to Garrett. This should have been a timed route. He was looking all over the field, but it should have been to Garrett about here. Let's see if we can get that. Soon as he was close to the face of the defensive back there, he should have threw the ball, and it would have been a little bit. Now it was tight coverage. Don't get me wrong, but to complete that pass, it would have had to been earlier. Um, that's just something you have to do to get these completions sometimes, especially when it's man coverage against really good defenders. Okay. Now let's jump to 740. Okay, 742. I think this one is just a design screen. It wasn't an incompletion, but just showing it wasn't really his fault. It was a first down. So let's jump to 1422. I put for this one sack fumble, no open receivers. So let's see. Okay, do you think anyone was open? Let's watch it again. Was anyone open? Stop it. Maybe a tiny bit. I'm not sure. This might be Garrett. Maybe a tiny bit. But was he even being pressured at that time? We're gonna see with the next the next clip. A little bit of pressure. I mean, it's a needle at best, and we're talking about even if he would have passed that, could have been easily knocked out. All right, let's jump to 21:33. About there. Now, what we're judging is whose fault is it? Okay, let's go back a little bit. Okay, so who's this that came across the middle? Looks like Conklin. That probably would have been knocked out. So he went to Garrett. Garrett wasn't really open, but he gave him a shot. Garrett, like I said before in the last video, Garrett is 6 feet tall, 189 pounds wet. That is not a lot to go up for a defender to go up and bat down a 50-50 pass against. Not much, or knock him out of bounds or knock the ball out. All right. All right. Let's jump to. Remember, I'm trying to keep this video concise. 25-26. All right, here we go. Now we're going to see is anybody open. Sorry about that. All right, this was just a dump off. No one was open. Let's go. 25-55. All right, so this is the fumble. For this one, I put toss fumble, toss up on whose fault it is. I think they credited Brees with this fumble. I think it's because Brees wasn't looking. We're gonna get a closer angle. So let's see whose fault that was. It really doesn't look like Brees was really looking. It looked like his eyes were on the defense. Yeah, that was basically in his hands. So that looked like more like Brees's fault. Okay, let's jump to. Let me see if we can hide this. Let's jump to 30-20. Oh, this was the Cook drop. Um, it was a design screen. I think we can all agree this is Cook's fault. Ball is in his hands. Now, I guess you can say that Zach threw the ball a little fast, a little hard. Maybe, but I mean, as a running back, you have a responsibility. You know what I mean? Like you got to catch that. Like that's ridiculous. I'm going to talk about something in our next video about the betrayal of Zach Wilson. Now, like I was saying, I'm not saying Zach Wilson is Patrick Mahomes, but someone brought up in the comments, and I'm gonna give that guy some credit too. Someone brought up in the comments like he was made a promise when he was drafted, and that promise has not been fulfilled whatsoever. We're going to talk about that soon. So this is the next one, I think it was. Yeah. So he was pressured. He stepped up in the pocket. Oh, this is the one where he should have ran for maybe 10, 15 yards. Um, maybe 20 yards, whatever. This is definitely on Zach. Um, and this we need to see more of Zach. We need to see more of Zach trying to squeeze through that pocket. A lot of times there is nowhere to go, but squeeze through that pocket for some rush yards. You are at this point. You got to play. You got to play. You got to do your Lamar Jackson thing. You got to do your Josh Allen thing, bro. You got to. There's like I'm saying, a couple of people agree that really watch the tape. No one's open. Let's jump to that was 36, 35. Let's jump to 37, 30. We ain't got much more to go, guys. No, 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 no. Hold up. We got to go to 36, 35. Bear with me. We ain't got a lot to go. So, okay, 36, 35. I put slow developing route. Okay, this one I was a little upset about. Slow developing route should have passed to Gibson. Let's see where Gibson is. This is Gibson. Yes, this is one of the plays. Gibson had a good play right here. It was pressured, like all of them, pretty much. But if he would have gave it a little time, stepped up, took the hit, now that's a hard thing to do for a guy that has a reputation of throwing interceptions, to take the hit while throwing. But if he would have went up, if he would have stepped up a little bit, stepped to the side, kept his footing, and just threw it to Gibson right here, this is good yardage. I hope you can see what I'm talking about. Right, Gibson is right here. He was open. This one is definitely on Zach. Now let's see the pressure. Right, he kind of just gave up. I think he was kind of, was it a design screen? Yeah, I think the way Brees is reacting, it was a design screen. And let's go back a little bit. Brees was in a lot of, he was surrounded by defenders, and Brees didn't even understand what Zach was looking at, so he's kind of upset about it. But you're surrounded by defenders, my boy. Like, I mean, you could take the chance, but like somebody was saying, he was scared to throw. I think some of these throws were smarter than just being afraid. Okay. Oh, the next one was 36-57. Did I miss it, or was that it? That was a close up. Wait. Okay, here it is. Yes. This one he went to, I think it was Lazard, but he should have went to Gibson. And now if you know what you're doing, this is why you say he should have went to Gibson. When you're throwing a like a curl or a comeback or whatever, you want to watch the corner, right? Some of these plays, it just seems like he was is designed to go to someone, and he's kind of going where the design is. So when you're throwing a corner comeback, whatever, I'm sorry, curl comeback, whatever, you have to watch the defender. If the defender is walking back, that's when you have a window to throw to your receiver. If you're really reading progressions, you would have seen that. Let me use my mouse. You would have seen that Gibson's defender is walking back. Soon they're gonna stop walking back on Gibson, because Gibson has to start running some nine routes and running down the field. They're gonna start to read that. But for now, Gibson is getting open. Where are we? 41-36. Also, I want to. I hope you don't mind. I was DKB. I'm using your footage. I will send you a super chat soon. DKBX Jets. 41-36. Where we at? Where we at? Okay. All right. Okay, for this one, I said took a shot to Conklin, could have hit Gibson, maybe for 3 yards. You might say pass to the right slot receiver, but you have to understand the DB that's playing the slot receiver already sees Zach has decided to throw to the other end of the field. Okay, let's see that. Okay, so I was talking about this guy. Who was that? Garrett. So you might have said, okay, Garrett had some space there going to the corner, but watch the DB. Look what the DB is looking at. The DB is looking at Zach, and he sees his feet are already set to throw to the opposite end of the field, right? To Lazard, right? So that's why he kind of leaned towards. Now, could Zach have figured that out and thrown to Garrett? Maybe, yes. Let's see if there was pressure there that made him throw faster than he should have. Kind of, not really. He could have read the progression and went. It's not the easiest progression to read. But yeah, this one, I guess you could say it's on Zach. What's the next one? So we're going to 4208. Okay, so 4208. All right, so he took a really tough, a really, I wouldn't say the smartest pass, but I said Gibson is open for a catch. Where's Gibson? Okay, so there's Gibson. So Gibson is here. He's in the slot again. It's 3 yards. It's 3 yards. But I guess maybe Gibson could have did something with that. The defender wasn't fooled at all, but he did give him space. Um, Next we're going to 4830. We ain't got much more to go. 4830. This one I said no one open, nowhere to run, quick pressure, pocket closed. 4830. So no one is open. You might look immediately at Conklin and say, "Oh, look, Conklin broke out." But look at these defenders here. They're all waiting um for that space to be occupied by a receiver, so they can go back and probably pick it off. And no one else. Garrett maybe, if you want to take this chance. Looks like that that defender would have closed on that pretty quickly. And let's see if he was pressured. Man, this was like 7 people. And that's a pretty quick pressure. Let's see if we see Garrett in the frame before. Nope. Nope. No Garrett in the frame before he's pressured. The next one would be 4858, which we're here now. Okay, so for this one, I put no one open. Okay, let's look at it again. Anyone open? Okay, so it looks like Lazard. I mean, geez, as soon as you see Lazard, you see the darn defender close it out. See from this angle. I'm telling y'all. I'm telling y'all, man, it ain't easy. Look when you see. Look as soon as you see Lazard come on the screen. Look at it. As soon as you see Lazard, defender going into the defender's direction. By the way, wow. Um, Next is 5253. 5253. Oh, so this one I said it was a big one. It was a boot, and this one was a potential touchdown. That's why I said it was a big one. Look at Lazard, right? Is that Lazard? Yeah, Lazard was pretty much wide open. Maybe let's see what the defender is. The defensive back. is when Lazard gets open. Yeah, the defensive back was not even paying attention. He didn't see it. This was a good play. But look at Zach and look who's there already. Already. He would have had to throw across his body while getting hit. No foot step, no foot set, no leverage. But this was a good, this would have been the one. This was the one. Uh, uh, you were asking for a lot though. I'm saying you were asking for a lot. That's all I'm saying. Um 53-20. What? 53-25. Okay, let's go back. We here already. Okay, so 53-25. I said maybe Michael Carter for 5 yards. Okay, there we see it. Michael Carter here. Maybe 5 yards right there. He took the shot though, you know what I'm saying? At this point in the game, you kind of need it. Um yeah, so it should have went he should have went to Michael Carter. Okay. Next one is 57-06. And I said no one open. All right, I know this footage is a little grainy. Let's just go through it. Yeah, no one's. You see anybody open? Open. Who's that? I think Lazard again. No, I think that's Gibson. So as you see someone, the defender's on him. Yeah, this defense for the what did they say, the number 31st ranked defense in the league, for the number 31 ranked defense against the pass. They locked the Jets all the way down. For the number 31 passing defense in the league, they locked every single person with green on down. In the stands, you couldn't go to get a soda if you was wearing green, bro. There was a Chargers defender there. If you went to use the bathroom, there was a Chargers defender at the urinal, my man. For the Zach couldn't play well against the number 31 pass defense. How? Okay. 105-54. I said it was a hard throw to Garrett. Difficult throw to Garrett. Let's see. Anyone open? Okay. Yeah, all right, there it is. They actually discussed this last night too. Um and the guy that had all the credentials, he broke this down a lot deeper, but the ball basically touched Garrett's hands. It was a definitely a I can't say it's the most accurate pass in the world, but it definitely hit him in the hands. I guess you could say it was a hard throw. It had a lot of steam behind it. Let's watch it from this angle. You know, man, can I slow it down? Let's try this. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was inaccurate. It was definitely inaccurate. Definitely inaccurate. I mean, Garrett could have made the pass, but definitely inaccurate. Okay. Next one. 107-20. This one was Conklin maybe for 5 yards. Conklin. But let's see, is anybody open? Anyone open? Yeah, so this one I was saying, think of this Conklin right there. Yeah. Um, yeah, maybe for 5 yards there. That one you could say it's on Zach. 108.11. Okay, yeah, 108.11. It was a tight window, maybe a 60-40 throw. His feet weren't set. Still, he had a chance because I think this was Garrett right here. Was this Garrett or Gibson? Yeah. So okay, we're gonna look at Garrett. That could have been a tight throw, but then we're gonna look at Wilson. Okay, boom. Let's see where Garrett is. Okay, let's see. This is where he should have thrown the ball. He ran away from the pressure pretty quickly. Yeah, yeah. That one you could say is definitely on Zach. He ran from the pressure too quickly. He could have slid his feet more. I mean, oh, I didn't even see that. So it wasn't just. Oh my god. It wasn't just the end. Like initially, I thought it was he was running from this guy. What, that 52? What he was really running from was the other end coming inside. That's who he was running from. Was that Bosa? Yeah, so he was trying to get out of the way of Bosa. Ah, jeez. Um, I guess we can still chalk that up to Zach though. But anyway, um, 112.18. 112.18. Tipped, fumbled, no space to move up. This was a fumble return for a touchdown. Let's see a different angle. Let's see a different angle. Was there space to run? Was there, some people like run backwards nowadays. Some people are saying we hate when Zach ran backwards. There's no wind there. So, let's see. Now maybe he could have ran right there. You're asking for Houdini, but okay, maybe he could have ran here. You're asking for Houdini because 56 closed it already. It's nowhere to really run. So they tipped the ball, and it's a fumble touch. It's fumble for a touchdown return. It's easy to look at Zach. Easy to look at Zach and say it's all Zach's fault. But there's no real opportunity. Was it a touchdown? Probably just a return for to the one or whatever. Um 116.11. For this one I said Uzama was open. Now, for the guy who's a Zach truther, um I'm scrutinizing him worse than a lot of people were. A lot of people when they come back, especially the guy that had the credit, all the credentials, he would just say, "Yo, ain't nobody open, bro. Like, there's nothing there." And it's dumb play calling as well. But he could have went to Uzama here. Now that defender that you saw in the picture, he would have closed really quickly. He's not blind to what's